Today is a very special day. It's World Polio Day, and so I'm very happy to have in the studio this morning two very special guests, Christie Adams and Teresa Hill. They are the respective presidents of Somerset's Pulaski County Rotary Club and the Somerset Rotary Club. So good morning.
Good morning, Amy.
Good morning. You're both first-time guests on the show, so I'm so glad you're here. Let's talk about Rotary Club. I think a lot of people have heard of Rotary. They know the name, but tell everybody, what is the mission of Rotary? What is it that we strive to do here in the community and worldwide? Christy, we'll start with you.
Well, what we try to do, and throughout the world there are 1.2 million Rotarians, we strive to come together and help our communities, help the world. Literacy is one of our main focuses, the eradication of polio, clean water and sanitation globally. We try to just improve people's lives, both locally and globally.
Teresa, if Rotary is it's known for lots of things, but the one thing that it's probably known the most for is that it strives to eradicate polio worldwide.
Yes, that is true. That has been our mission for many years, and we are this close. This close. If you could see my fingers, you could see
a little less than an inch, right?
A little less than an inch here. We are this close to being successful, to actually eradicating it across the entire world.
Do you have any numbers on how many polio cases are still in the world today? How many people still are suffering from polio?
Well, I know this year so far there have been just under 300 cases, with about 100 of them in the endemic countries that remain, and those countries are Nigeria, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. There's been a bit of an outbreak in Central Africa and the Horn of Africa, which accounts for close to 200 of those cases. But if we compare this year to date, with last year, the endemic countries are 60% fewer cases than they were this time last year. So progress is being made, and I agree with Teresa, we're this close.
You both are wearing purple today, and purple is the color for polio awareness, and that Rotary is still trying to eradicate polio in the world. Christy, you mentioned there are 1.2 million Rotarians in the world. There's about 24,000 clubs, is that right, across the world?
Yes.
And Rotary International is the umbrella for all Rotary clubs, but we have two here in Somerset, the Somerset Pulaski Rotary Club and then the Somerset Rotary Club. What are some of the things, Teresa, we'll start with you, that the Somerset Rotary Club is working on right now, things that you all are doing in the community?
Well, we have a pancake fry coming up on Election Day, and that's Tuesday, November 5th, and that's from 6 to 6 at the First United Methodist Church downtown. And all of the proceeds from the pancake fry, which is what we're known the most for, goes to support all of the eradication of polio, because our club donates $2,000 a year to Rotary International for that cause. And then any other proceeds would go to the scholarships. We give an opportunity for seniors that are in the Society of Character to be able to write an essay, and then they go through an interview process, and 3 high school students then receive a $750 scholarship. And we're working to kind of alter that a little bit this year with the morning club, with Christy, and we're not sure where that's going to lead us, but what we hope to do is to be able to combine our efforts and then be able to offer more scholarships. And I'm not sure if that includes more students, but certainly we want to make more of an impact by working together in our community.
Teresa, your club, the Somerset Noon Rotary Club, meets at noon every Monday at the Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital. You referred to the morning club. That was Christie's club. The early birds meet at 7 o'clock at the Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital. And what are some of the things, Christy, that your Rotary Club is working on in the community?
Well, one of the projects that we do ongoing through the year is building wheelchair ramps to help people in the community who need some assistance accessing their homes. So that's something we do on the weekends as a group. It's a great team building exercise for us, and it's so rewarding to see the impact it has on the families as we complete those. We also partner with the Noon Club for Access to Careers Day. That's coming up in November. And we also partner with Somerset Community College and the local schools. And we will have probably about 200 high school students come and learn about pursuing higher education, financial aid, different types of careers. And that's a valuable resource for the high schoolers as they embark on that adventure.
Is our are our local Rotary clubs open to taking on new community projects? If there's someone listening this morning who would maybe like to partner with a service organization to do something to better the community, can they outreach to Rotary to help with that?
Absolutely. We're always looking for new ideas, and we really want to be able to address the needs of the community. So by making us aware of what is needed, that's very helpful to us.
I agree. It would be great to have new opportunities to serve the community. That's what we're all about.
You both have been involved in Rotary for a long time. What brought you to Rotary? Because it might be some of the same things that bring others to Rotary. Teresa?
I'll be honest, everything that I knew about Rotary usually dealt with males and businessmen, and I didn't really realize the whole aspect of it other than being introduced to it. So I received a phone call from a friend who was in Rotary and invited me, and I was like, okay, I need to know more information first. And when I learned that it's open to men and women, that the purpose is to basically do good in the world and do good in your community, then I realized that it's an opportunity to be part of something very big, not just in the United States, but internationally, and be part of an organization that reaches places that, as you know, our community, we couldn't reach otherwise. And so that kind of twisted my arm, and I thought, I've got to know more. And I will be honest with you, I've been a Rotarian for 5 years, and I'm still learning more and more, and everything that I learn about Rotary, it just makes me very, very proud to be one.
Christy, what about you?
I agree with what Teresa said. I actually became involved before becoming a Rotarian. My husband was involved with the morning club, and I participated in a lot of the local projects, the ramp building and international dinner things we did, and really enjoyed it. So when my schedule adjusted so that I could attend regularly, I was happy to join and really learned more, still learn every day, as Teresa said, but learned more when we attended our first convention. And at that point, we could see globally. I mean, you were one of many people from various countries, and everyone was a friend, even though you just sat down at a table next to them. But you could truly see firsthand the impact all of the projects have on the lives of the individuals who presented, and it was life-changing.
We're talking with Christy Adams and Teresa Hill this morning from two of Somerset and Pulaski County's Rotary Club about Rotary. Today is World Polio Day. So when we come back, we're going to talk about the polio initiative, eradicating polio, that Rotary is working on internationally, as well as some other initiatives. Thank you so much for listening to Mid Mornings with Amy on Thursday, October 24th. We'll be welcome back to Mid Mornings with Amy. It's Thursday, October 24th, 39 degrees outside, very chilly morning here in Somerset. Wherever you are this morning, I hope you're having a great morning. We're talking with Christy Adams. She is the president of the Somerset Pulaski County Rotary Club, and we're talking to Teresa Hill. She is the president of the Somerset Rotary Club. We have two Rotary clubs here in Somerset, and today is World Polio Day, and Rotary International, Rotary locally, is known for its work to help eradicate polio throughout the world. And we were talking during the break that you all had mentioned that there are about 296 cases of polio still worldwide. And we were also mentioning that to some people that might not sound like a big number. It may sound like we've accomplished our goal as Rotary. We've almost eradicated polio throughout the world. But polio can be very contagious through travel. So the fight's not over yet.
It is important that every case be eradicated because it is susceptible to coming back to other parts of the country because of the fact people travel so much these days. And that need is recognized by a lot of organizations that have partnered with Rotary. Specifically, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has been so generous. And at first they contributed $100 million if Rotary would match through fundraising, and then they increased that to $355 million. So Rotary's commitment globally was to raise $200 million. So we have been able to put a lot of funds behind the fight to be sure we can vaccinate all around the world, remote villages and capital cities, and just be sure all the children of the world are protected from this disease.
And something else that Rotary does, Teresa, is work worldwide to make drinking water safe in countries throughout the world.
Absolutely, and that's something both of our clubs have been able to do, particularly after Haiti. I know when they had the hurricane that went through, that we were able to donate not only a shelter box down there, but also to be able to help them with the drinking water, to have the filter, the sand filters that they're able to establish, and then be able to help villages. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Once you start learning what Rotary does, you can see all the different types of ways that we're trying to improve health all over the world.
1.2 million Rotarians across the world. That's amazing. People who are members of the 24,000 Rotary clubs that are across the world. And today, World Polio Day, what are some things internationally that Rotary is doing to bring awareness to World Polio Day, to let people know that we still have about 296 cases of polio that we have not eradicated yet?
Well, there are a lot of events scheduled, and as you drive around town today, you should see on some organization signs and billboards the logo for End Polio Now, or some information about World Polio Day. And Teresa and I are both wearing purple. That is the color of the day. And then this evening, our club, which typically meets in the morning, is going to meet this evening at 6 o'clock at Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital, and we're going to watch a broadcast that is simulcast online, and it's a 90-minute update from the World Health Organization and other groups giving up-to-date information on the eradication fight. And anyone is welcome to join us for that if they would like to learn more, or look on the website endpolionow.org, and there'll be a link to watch it from wherever you'd like.
Rotary International has a great website that's very informative, that can tell anybody anything they want to know about rodeo, where the funds are going, what they're being used for, and that's Rotary.org. So I would suggest visit Rotary.org if you have any questions at all about Rotary. And one thing that I have found interesting about Rotary, from being a Rotarian for almost a year, is that the motto is service above self. And when you come to a club meeting, to a Rotary luncheon or a breakfast, you can't talk about your business. You can't talk about your profession. It's about you as an individual and about you being of service.
Right, you might be fined.
I know. The fines, I did not expect that. You're fined if a cell phone rings, if you forget your Rotary pin, if you talk about your business. But all of that is to remind people why they're there. And
Exactly.
That is service above self.
And all of it, of course, goes for a good reason, to a good cause.
Yes, yes. The safe drinking water, because polio can be spread through contaminated drinking water. What are some things that Rotary International is working on right now? Maybe where in the world are we working for sanitation purposes for clean drinking water?
Really, it's in so many more locations than you would think. Numerous locations in Africa, Pakistan, India. It's not unusual to hear of occasions where people, and typically children in a family, will walk 3 or 4 or 5 miles in the morning just to access a source of water. And more than likely, it's not really a clean source of water, but it's their only source of water. So there are a lot of different ways, and Rotary spends a lot of time focusing on ways that are sustainable. It's important to put in a system that the people living in the community can repair or use without it being too complicated or breakable. So they look at pumping water to houses or to a local place that's closer. They look to filtering, as Teresa said, and making sure the water is safe to drink so the children aren't drinking contaminated water that keeps them from going to school. It affects literacy. It affects so many things in a person's life if you don't have access to clean water.
We're talking with Christy Adams and Teresa Held with the Rotary Clubs of Somerset and Pulaski County this morning. Today is World Polio Day, and we are this close. That's a little less than an inch from eradicating polio worldwide.